can't believe I'm about to expose myself like this, but when I was in 10th grade, I think, I made a fan account on Twitter for Fifth Harmony. This was when they just got off the X Factor. They didn't even have any songs of their own out yet. They were just doing covers, but still there was this huge group of mostly young girls on the internet who believed in them like so hard. Then they started doing mall tours, and my mom and my brother were going to Florida that summer, and originally I said I didn't want to go, but Fifth Harmony were doing one of those mall shows in Orlando that same week, so I got on that plane with them. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, and our flight home was at the same time as the show. They would announce the dates and times of each show like a few days in advance. I love organization. But it was all good because they came to Toronto a month later, opening up for Cher Lloyd. And then they came back 2 months after that on their own tiny tour, and I've seen them many times after that, and eventually, like years later, my friends and I were sneaking into the MFAs watching them win awards. Fifth Harmony broke up earlier this week, so I've been thinking a lot about my experience being a fan, and how my friends and I literally watched them go from performing in malls, and a few of us were on a first name basis relationship with them. We went from that to seeing them become the most successful girl group that there is in the industry right now, and I think that's pretty crazy. The reason I'm making this video though isn't really about them, it's about the people I met, because we all had the same love for this girl group back in 2013. Literally never would I ever have thought that being obsessed with a girl group when I was 15 years old would have brought me to the actual best people in my life right now, but it did. On Twitter, I followed people who are also fans of the group, and we would tweet about things that were going on with them, and there were so many inside jokes, and it really was a little community. I met most of these people who I had only followed online, the ones from Toronto anyways, for the first time in person in concert lines, and we became friends. Meeting a group of people that were so supportive and genuine, who were going through similar things I was, meant and still does mean so much to me. There's so many things going on in my life at the time that only they could really get, and there was a place I could fall back on for support and encouragement whenever there was shit going on in my quote-unquote real life, or with my real life friends. And now these people are my real life friends. Like, these people I met on the internet are my best friends right now, still to this day. I met these people when I was 15, now I'm 21. Grown up with them, and I've been so lucky to see them grow up into being such incredible humans. It was always so cool meeting each other in person for the first time, because you would always be able to talk to each other like you've known each other for years. It never felt like it was the first time I'm meeting this person. We've traveled together for their shows, we've shared hotel rooms, we've waited out in the cold all day, we've snuck into the MMVAs multiple times, and then when we were older and didn't really care about the whole thing as much anymore, and we're kind of just going to the MMVAs because it was tradition at this point, we got hella drunk while watching the red carpet. We've cried of excitement with each other, and one day we all went to Laura's house and literally just sat in her basement, all on computers, and voted over and over for Fifth Harmony to win their VMA. It was such a wild week, like literally all we did was vote. We've waited out by their tour buses and have gone to the airport to greet them, and Laura snuck alcohol across the US border when she wasn't of age because we all wanted to drink before their concert in Buffalo. She made Fifth Harmony shot glasses for us to do that with. We had a group chat, and we would have Toronto Harmonizer meetups, and honestly there was something so special about those days that I don't think anyone could really get unless they were a part of it, and I feel so lucky that I got to be a part of that with the people that I did. You guys gave me something to belong to during a time where I felt really lost. High school was a whole ass mess, but that's something that you guys gave me and let me be a part of was so special. And because of that, I can look back on those 4 years and see something positive. You guys gave me some of the best memories of my life in between days that were really difficult, and you guys have no idea how much that all means to me. So many people don't understand the whole internet friends thing, and so many people bash it and don't believe it's possible to really create friendships that way. But like, let me tell you, this is some real fucking shit right here. These people aren't just my friends because they're around and it's convenient. We've all grown up, and most of us have moved away for things like school and live in completely different cities now, even further from each other than we were to begin with, but we've only become closer. because when you genuinely care about people, you'll put in a ton of effort to make it work. And these are people I absolutely love and care to keep in my life, so I make sure that I do that. We've gone traveling together, and I went to Courtney and Eva's prom. This picture of Lauren I has captioned, "When guys in the club ask how you know each other," because that was always such a tricky thing to answer whenever any of us were around each other's real life friends. And we were asked this, we'd kind of just look at each other and one of us would nod along while the other person made something up. Claudia and I got tattoos together, and she traveled 6 hours just to be at my birthday last year. I have friends in so many different cities, and I always have someone to see whenever I'm traveling. Montreal is my favorite city on earth because I have a group of people there who make it feel like home. When Eva and I went to Chicago this past summer, our friend Vic, who lives there, who we met because of Twitter, greeted us at the train station, told us which bus passes we should buy, and was our tour guide for a lot of the trip. You guys are my best friends. You're the people I get lit with every weekend. You're the reasons I'm always traveling. You're the people who are 100% there for me whenever anything's wrong. You're the people who are going to be in my wedding party one day, honestly. And it's pretty wild, but also pretty beautiful that this entire friend group was formed because we all loved the same girl group back in 2012. There's so many moments where I stop to think about how lucky I am. It's moments when you're at a restaurant in Montreal with people you'd only met in person for the first time that day, and by the end of the day you're all hugging and feeling like you're gonna cry, and you're making promises to come back and visit soon, and you do, and they come visit you, and I'm going to keep going to Quebec for these people for the rest of my life. It's moments when you're in Buffalo and you're sitting in a stranger's car having the time of your life, and by the end of the day you're not strangers anymore, and you're exchanging numbers and social medias, and you still keep in touch to this day. It's when you stand next to someone in a concert line and you start talking and you realize you followed her on Twitter. She doesn't follow you, but you guys click instantly, and when she gets home that night she follows you back. She doesn't live close like at all, but you guys make the distance work. Eventually you're calling her your best friend. 5 years and a ton of money spent on bus rides to see each other later, she chooses a college in Toronto and moves into a residence because she wants to be closer to you. I think back on these moments and realize how lucky I am, because I would have missed out on all of that. There's so many people I wouldn't have even had the possibility of meeting, and so many experiences I would have never been a part of, and so many cities I would have never gone to see if it hadn't been for that embarrassing fan account I made when I was 15. I genuinely can't even imagine what my life would look like right now if I hadn't logged into Twitter when I did and signed myself up. I've had so many different friend groups and people in my life throughout the years, but the people who have stayed present throughout everything is that group of people I followed on Twitter in 2013, and that's so crazy to think about. I think that if you know someone who's a super huge fan of someone, or if your kid is a super huge fan of something, you should support that, because look what it could lead to. When I would spend all the money I had on concert tickets and meet and greet passes, my mom would tell me, "You're not even gonna care about these girls in a year." And it took a bit longer than that for the obsession to fade, and I still keep up with Fifth Harmony a little bit. I know what they're doing and I'll always support them, but she was right, I'm definitely not crazy super obsessed anymore. Right now I would never spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I could keep going, hundreds of dollars on them. I wouldn't go to HMV right now and buy multiple copies of their CD on separate receipts because I wanted them to chart well. I probably wouldn't lie to my boss right now about why I had to leave work early so I could make it to see them at the airport. I don't regret doing any of that at all, because I still look back at that now and see some of the best memories of my life within those days. And a lot of it wasn't even because of Fifth Harmony, it was because I was doing all of that with people who shared that same crazy passion and excitement that I did. Standing in concert lines all day was literally so much fun because I was always so excited that I felt like I was going to throw up, and I was standing next to the only friends I had that I knew could 100% understand that feeling too. We grew up with Fifth Harmony and their era ended, just like our era of concerts and waiting outside of them, having fan counts ended a while ago. And they may have broken up, but the friendships we formed because of them, I really do believe are unbreakable. These people have stayed in my life and are going to stay in it forever.